The tale of a red-haired boy, Flynn, son of Crimson, takes you on a casual 2D platformer adventure. And when I say casual, I mean it with all the best of intentions. Between a workday and running a few rounds of ass-clenching hunt showdown games, Flynn was a taste of relaxing, fresh air. Wrapped in a beautiful, high-quality pixel art dress, Flynn is certainly ready to pull you in with the looks. It doesn't stop there either. The accompanying music and sound work both hit the same level of quality, providing great support for gameplay. As for the latter, you can roughly expect somewhere between 6 and 9 hours of it, based mostly on how thoroughly you want to clean everything. Core gameplay loop tasks you with getting from one end of the 2D levels to the other, hindered by minions and the occasional gate to unlock by finding the switches. Now, right out of the gate, I will note, I think these minions are probably the weakest link in Flynn. There's nothing wrong with them on first sight, but first sight is hardly last sight. You'll be running into very similar enemies across your playthrough, rendering them fairly boring by the end. This isn't helped by their health pools compared to your damage either. Right from the get-go, you're likely to get a feel of having to whack them for a longer than welcome time period. Truth be told, as you progress, pile up currency and then exchange said currency for the power-ups, you'll sooner or later run into unlockable passive boosts to your damage. Having both of these upgrade nodes online certainly alleviates the issue. Unfortunately though, you won't have the slightest idea where to find them on the tech tree, as only those options are visible, which are right next in line to unlock. Just giving some vision on the entire tech tree from the start would be an easy fix to this issue. I'd love for the developers to implement such a change. While you work on unlocking the damage boosts, however, there's a lot of other options to keep you interested. Combat offers the options to melee attack, ranged attack and dodge, which isn't a long list for sure, but both attack types change based on equipped spell or weapon. Wielding the axe results in slower swings, delivering bigger chunks of damage. Claws on the other hand offer speed in exchange for damage. You'll rarely if ever use your standard range attack, but infusing it with the different elements proves to be useful during combat, and it is often a core necessity for platforming sessions. The best part of combat, however, comes from how responsive your inputs are and how well incoming attacks are telegraphed. I'm fairly certain there wasn't a single occasion during my playthrough when I would be in a situation where I received unavoidable damage. Every single point of health lost was a result of either my laziness or lack of paying proper attention. Variety doesn't stop with the different attacks offered either. The biomes you visit are easy to distinguish, offering their own challenges, such as heavy winds in the mountains or maze-like caverns underwater. Speaking of which, Flynn actually offers one of those rare experiences that don't make you hate the whole gaming industry just because of playing their underwater levels. That's certainly a big plus as well. These changes in biomes and gameplay mechanics come at an enjoyable pace, never allowing any of them to stay long enough to become boring. I think it's also fair to say there's a nice variety in boss fights as well. While none of them offer any mind-blowing novelty, never before seen in any other game, they are all enjoyable, with a slightly different approach to the obvious goal of reducing their health bar while dodging incoming attacks. And truth be told, this middle-of-the-road approach is probably the main characteristic of Flynn. It doesn't have any outstanding boss fights, but they're all fun. It doesn't reinvent the platformer genre, but it offers a taste of most of what's been seen so far on the market. It has baseline platforming, it has some brawling, There's underwater parts, there's side-scrolling parts, you get the drill. I think many would call this mediocrity, and you know what? Maybe rightfully so even. I don't see Flynn taking home piles of Game of the Year awards at the end of 2021 myself. At the same time, however, I also don't think every single title has to always reinvent the wheel. And sometimes, admittedly, I'm not looking for a challenge platformer, I don't always want to play Super Meat Boy and have to sweat my ass off. Right about now, barely 2 weeks after moving, halfway through my resignation and handovers, freshly getting into a super challenging competitive shooter, the casual outlet that Flynn offered was perfect to just lay back in my chair with a controller and relax. If you're looking for anything similar, I'm absolutely more than happy to recommend giving this title a chance. As always, we're thankful for your kind attention, and we'd be very grateful if you pleased the machine gods by liking our video. If you'd like to come along for next month's ride, don't hesitate to subscribe. Any and all recommendations are welcome in the comment section. Don't forget to start attending at least one class a week at uni, and we'll see you again soon.